There's been barely a flake of snow there since Saturday, but Britain's biggest airport has descended into even more chaos tonight, with hundreds more flights cancelled and stranded passengers furious and left sleeping on floors. British Airways cancelled all short-haul flights out of Heathrow today, whilst one of the two runways will stay closed until tomorrow, and the Transport Secretary Philip Hammond has warned the disruption could continue for several days. Our business correspondent Siobhan Kennedy is at Heathrow. Siobhan.
Good evening, John. Well, today has been a third day of cancellations and chaos here at Heathrow after the virtual standstill of the weekend. The good news is that some flights did manage to take off and land, as you can probably see or hear behind me, but it's fair to say that the majority was still grounded, stuck in thick layers of ice. And in all these terminal buildings around me tonight, thousands of passengers also remain stuck, all desperately trying to find out if they can get away, get off on their business trips or get home for Christmas. Some desperate just to find out any information as to whether or not they will be able to depart. And in the absence of any fresh snow tonight, John, there are questions being asked about BAA, the operator of Heathrow, and whether or not it could have been better prepared to cope. A plane finally takes to the skies this morning. A welcome sight over Heathrow after a weekend of cancellations and chaos. But on the ground, things are far from back to normal. Hundreds of planes remain frozen and grounded, rooted to the tarmac in thick layers of ice. For BAA tonight, the airport's owner, the difficult question: could it, should it have done more? Passengers have been left angry and confused as to where to go or what to do.
We understand the weather, it's, that's fine, these things happen and, you make the best of it, but what's been entirely beyond acceptable is the lack of preparation that the tour operators, the airlines have made for this. Frankly, they've just let us, they cut us adrift.
They basically told us, sorry, your flight's been cancelled, go away and phone this number. So there's no help for you. We can't phone the number. We were on hold for 40 minutes yesterday and still didn't have a chance to get through.
BAA did manage to get one runway clear today, so a limited number of flights have been getting in and out. But the second runway remains frozen, and the backlog from the weekend's shutdown will take several days to clear. With more bad weather due, the airport's operator is under increasing pressure to step up its efforts and get passengers and planes in the air before Christmas.
When it's some days since the last snow fell, people do feel that it would be a good thing if they could clear the snow from under the planes and allow them to take off. That cannot be beyond the wit of man.
Right now, Heathrow's north runway is open, while its south runway remains closed. BAA says the bigger problem is with the stands where the planes are parked. Heathrow has 195. Most currently have aircraft stuck there, covered in snow. BAA reckons each plane needs 30 tonnes of ice to be removed before they can push back and take off. In a crisis like this, you might think the government would step in, but BAA is actually owned by the Spanish company Ferrovial, which also owns a string of other British airports like Stansted. BAA says it has 69 snow clearing machines, including ploughs, de-icers and sweepers, and last month it reassured passengers it had been working for months to ensure it would be prepared for winter. The owners of Gatwick, by contrast, are planning to expand their fleet from 47 machines to 95, with plans to spend another $8 million before next winter, even though it's a much smaller airport. Even by European standards, Heathrow does seem a bit lacking. It handles 66 million passengers a year and has 69 snow-clearing vehicles. Charles de Gaulle in Paris, with fewer passengers, has a fleet of 74 vehicles. Frankfurt, with 51 million passengers, has 60 vehicles. London wasn't alone. In Paris, there were scenes just as chaotic and disorganised as Heathrow. Here, about 1/3 of flights were cancelled due to the extreme weather. Back in the UK, airport operators stopped short of openly criticising BAA today, though some said questions would be asked.
Clearly there will be a big wash-up over this. We need to learn from this, see what else could have been done, could anything have been done earlier. But right now, I think the most important thing is that we all work together, particularly with the BAA and the airport authorities, so that we can dispatch as many aircraft, get as many aircraft in and get people where they need to be before Christmas.
Tonight, the government said it was doing all it could to get people moving in time for Christmas.
The immediate focus at Heathrow must be on maximising the number of flights with the available infrastructure. And in order to do this, I have agreed with BAA this morning a relaxation of restrictions on night flights for the next 4 days.
But even with these measures, ministers say that with more snow predicted, thousands of people simply won't be able to get away anytime soon.